Are we ready?
As ready as I'm gonna be.
God, that was fucking loud. Jesus. Sorry.
Well, most things we can't hear, so.
Welcome to the Ugly Truth.
Right?
Yeah. We are in August already. Like, what? Where did the summer freaking... Are you all right?
Yes.
What was it? Was it a spider?
No, yeah, it'll be part of our discussion in a moment, and you'll know why I'm especially jumpy.
Okay, so really quick, I had my mammogram.
Oh, good for you.
Because I'm terrified of getting cancer, and so I never miss it.
Right.
So I had it last month, and Daryl was in New York when I had it done,
Right.
and he's like, "I don't know why you do that why are you doing that when I'm gone?" I'm like, "Well, because I'm not waiting. Just because you're not here doesn't mean it's time. I'm going."
Sometimes I prefer to do things like that completely alone when no one knows about it.
Absolutely. And I do it. I told him why. I said, I get my mammogram done at 7 a.m. because I'm the first appointment, number one, so they're not ever running behind. Mm-hmm. Number two, if there's anything weird going on,
they'll know by the afternoon.
They'll know before I leave, because they'll see it and they'll go, "Hey, hold back. We want to do whatever."
Right.
So I have the whole day to do all the things where they try to schedule it later.
Right.
You know what I mean?
If you do it towards the end of the day, then you have to wait till tomorrow or the next day.
Exactly. So I would be aggressive and say, "No, I'm staying. Let's get this done. I'm here already. You already know there's something weird. Let's just do it." And so that's...
Do I need a mastectomy? Let's do that in like the next hour.
Can I lop it off now?
Right.
Like...
Ready.
So anyway, he's like, I know. But I go, "Well, what are you going to do?" I'm like, "I don't even allow you to go."
Right?
Like, I go by myself.
I'm not one of those women who needs to hold hands in the lobby.
The worst part...
I can't.
Oh, God, no. The worst part...
I'll just sit there and freak out on my own.
I get anxious, like everybody probably does.
Yeah.
But the worst part, Stephanie, I am not kidding you, is you can't wear deodorant or perfume.
Oh my God, same.
You can't.
I hate it.
And so I'm like constantly, and then when you worry, you sweat.
I know.
You perspire, and I'm like, and I can smell myself.
And I'm literally
like,
thinking to like the technicians, of course they're used to it. They're nurses and everything else. But I mean, honestly, it's like every woman who comes in here is completely natural in every way.
God.
And God help us.
Horrible. And I'm like, I'm nervous, and I could really use a little Lumi right now. And,
Same.
And I even thought, I'm like, maybe if I wear Lumi, it won't count because it's natural or whatever. But
right.
no,
they don't want
anything.
They want nothing between you and the machine.
Skin and the machine. So I got the mammogram done. The woman that's been doing my mammogram, she's been doing it for however long, and I love her. And she even told me what days to do it if I want her. So now I make
awesome,
super sure. So I got it done. Everything was great. She goes, "Okay, you'll get a letter, la la la." So now with technology, we get notifications
when your test results are ready.
When the test results are in, you can log in and look at them. They're like, "We suggest that you don't, but you can."
Why?
Because if you don't understand what it says.
Oh, I'll understand it.
Of course I will.
I'll Google whatever I can't figure out.
So it had been literally one day.
Geez.
They said results are back. And I'm like, "Oh, that was fast. Normally it's like a week." So I'm like,
well, nothing bad because they would call you.
I just said, "Fuck it, I'm looking." So I log in.
Hell yeah.
And I look, and it says, everything's normal, whatever. And I started to weep.
Why?
And Daryl's like,
relief.
Yeah. He goes, I didn't realize how nervous I was. The older I get, the more worried I get that I'm going to have something.
Agreed.
And so I started crying, and I'm like, "I'm sorry. This is so dumb." I'm just like,
no, it's not.
So relieved that
It's
don't have.
literally every woman's worst nightmare. We
Seriously.
all are terrified of getting breast cancer.
Yeah. And I'm just, number two for me is heart disease. Those are the two things. And I've been really slacking on my exercising. So I've been worried about it. So I did yoga the other day, and I'm like,
good. God, yoga is hard.
It's so hard, but I love doing it. But anyway, so the mammogram, I'm like, okay, good. So ladies, please get your mammogram. If you're over 40, just do it. Because it's worse to find out later
the hard way
that because you were so afraid, and then you felt something and went, "Oh shit." And then you go and you're like, "I know, if you'd only been here a year ago."
Yeah, exactly.
And they tell you that too. They're like, breast
God.
cancer is so easy to treat if you are just proactive.
Oh my God. So true.
You need to get a mammogram, don't you?
I do.
You're looking at me like all wide-eyed. You're like, "I know it's."
Well,
so
I
true.
just went to the doctor about a month and a half ago. And she told me, she's like, "You're literally behind on everything. What the fuck are you doing?" I'm like, My life is
You're
so
like,
chaotic.
I'm in denial. I don't want to admit that I need to get my
No, I knew it.
done.
It's just when she started reading me the dates of the last time I did everything, I'm like, my God.
I mean, like pap smears now, if you have a good pap, you don't have to do it for like 3 or 4 years if you're not.
I'm at 4.
Yes. Like this
everything
will be
is due right now.
Yeah,
right now.
I'm due
like
for one this year.
now if I don't do it, I'm just being stupid. So
yes.
Everything is going on the schedule in the next 3 or 4 months.
Hooray!
I mean, I just knock it all out.
Well, if you want me to come and sing Kumbaya
I don't need that.
I will come with you.
I'm like you. I prefer just to go alone.
I just like being alone.
Early in the morning. I can't focus. Excuse me. I can't focus any of my energy on someone else.
Same.
Even if it's just small talk or whatever.
Yeah, no.
I just literally need to sit there in silence and whatever's going through my brain. That's it.
I don't need the company.
I don't either.
No, it's
I don't
really
need comfort. It's not even comforting to me.
It's not comforting.
It irritates me.
It's same.
Yeah, because when I'm anxious, I'm already irritated.
Yep. 100%. And I'm very polite and I try to be, as the best patient possible.
Same. And I just don't want to have to tolerate anybody else because that's when my tolerance is the lowest. And I may say something like, fuck, shut up,
or just like, I don't know why you're here.
Or literally the sound of you drinking that water right now makes me want to slap you.
Yes.
Stop it.
It's horrible.
So just let me sit there and freak out.
So before that though, and you shockingly had the same experience, Bodega is old, my husky, but he has killed to date 23 skunks. 23.
Oh my God.
Skunks. And he's getting old. He's had some teeth removed last year because, they tend to do that.
So his bite isn't as hard?
Oh, his jaw is very hard, very strong, but he doesn't have as
many. That's what kills him, right?
Yes. He breaks their neck. I know. And he's swift.
Well, thank God.
Better
than having him half dead in the backyard.
Well, Daryl's had to take care of that before when he was first figuring it out. But anyway, he is old and our backyard is like a fortress.
It is.
Creatures can't really get in, but they've been walking along the fence line.
Dummies.
And they're young. And so
inexperienced.
They're stupid. Mm-hmm. Exactly. And we go through this every year.
When they have their litters of newbie little
and then they come running
skunks.
out and yeah.
They're so excited. They think it's like Snow White Forest. No,
you're going to be eaten and killed immediately. Exactly. So it got in the yard and Bodega had to chase it.
Damn it.
And it was running around the shed and doing all that.
Oh God.
So Daryl went out there and he's like, hey. And I don't know. I have told him this for years. I'm like, you need to let this happen. You can't help. There's nothing for you to do.
Why? Because Bodega doesn't listen.
He's completely gone. He's primal.
He's never gonna.
He's not. You can't tempt him with anything. Just let him do what he's got to do.
If Daryl tried to touch him, would he try to bite him?
No, but he couldn't get to him anyway. He's running the moment. Mm-hmm. So Daryl goes out there. It's like 2 a.m, and he's out there by the pond over in our backyard, and he's like, Bodega, no. Well, the skunk comes. Bodega chased it out, and the skunk comes and starts charging Daryl.
Oh.
And Daryl's all, no! And I'm in the living room watching. This man leapt up from the ground over to where our barbecue is. That's like an 8-foot
Oh my
jump.
God, yes it is.
And he jumped it and was on the deck barefoot. And I'm like, you stupid man.
I would have been laughing.
I was laughing. It was hilarious.
Did he get sprayed?
No, luckily he didn't. But then Bodega killed it, obviously. And Bodega, when he's mad, he doesn't just kill it. He like destroys it.
Like shoes on it?
We found the entrails in one place. We found, I mean, it's just everywhere. He gets so angry. And then there's Sasha just watching, He's
like, learn, little one, learn.
Absolutely. And so that was horrifying. And so we dealt with that.
How could it not get out of the yard? Do they not climb?
I don't know. We don't know much about them. But once Bodega's on it,
there's no escaping.
Curtains. And so then literally 3 days later.
So he gets sprayed though, right?
The second time he got sprayed. 3 days later, another fucking skunk got in the yard and he killed it. And I woke up and I'm like, oh my God. The smell now is so... I literally woke up out of a dead sleep because I can smell it. Because you're used to it,
yeah.
And I was like, oh my God. And I opened up...
It's so strong, God.
Oh my God, Stephanie. I get an immediate migraine.
Well, I told you
Instant migraine.
My dog got...
You're going to tell me after this. This is why this is so shocking.
Oh God.
So I open up and I go... And I'm like, oh no. And Daryl's like, what? I go, he killed another one. He's like, no. The house smelled so bad because he got sprayed this time.
Well, so was he in the house?
No, but he never gets sprayed. But this time he did. And we think it's because he's not as strong as he used to be.
Or maybe not as fast.
It's taking longer to kill them. And so we dealt with that, of course. And then he killed another one like a week later.
Oh my God.
I know. But here's what was shocking. It had been 2 days since he had killed one. And then you messaged me at 10 o'clock at night.
I know. I was desperate.
Explain what happened.
Honestly, lately, we've had a possum that keeps coming to the back door.
Oh my God.
I was keeping, we have a
cat food.
Yes. Yep. A teeny little dish of dry food
for the outdoor kitty.
For the one kitty that I have that refuses to come in. She lives in the backyard. She never even goes over the fence. She literally does not leave the backyard ever.
She just likes being there.
She just does. She's old. She's like 15. And when we first moved there, I stopped doing that because I noticed that a possum was coming.
Creatures.
And raccoons. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I stopped. And so it'd been years. And I eventually figured out that I could put it in the garage and they won't come in the garage and she can slip in the little side door.
Oh, good.
But then she stopped coming in there. Like, she's such a little brat. So I finally just tempted fate and nothing was happening for a long time, like a year.
That's great.
Like, nobody was eating it. And I just figured that they had learned their lesson, or because now that I have a puppy and we've had Kevin for the last year and a half.
Yes.
He's pretty territorial and he's fast and so
he can chase him off.
Yes. And he's young. And so they just were like, heck no, not going in there. Well, all of a sudden this possum has decided that I'll see what happens. So he's been coming, he or she's been coming and eating. So I let Kevin go back there because he won't kill it, but he will chase it.
He'll run it off. Yeah.
So I've been letting him do that in hopes that the possum would learn.
Yes.
It hasn't. But I mean, it's just turned into a nightly thing where he runs out there and chases it all around the yard until it leaves. So I did that. I did the same thing. And this time it wasn't a possum. It was a skunk.
Oh no.
And he doesn't want to kill it. I wish he did.
Oh yeah, no, usually most animals don't.
Yeah. Really?
I don't think so.
Oh.
I don't think most dogs want to kill anything. I mean, skunk wise, I don't think.
Bodega jeez.
Bodega's he's a vicious.
I know.
Vicious.
And he's always been that way, right?
But not with people. Only with animals.
No, I know.
It's
but
the
I mean,
weirdest
he's
thing.
always killed small rodents, like anything.
He does not kill rats. He does not find the time.
Really?
Nope. Hates them. He doesn't care. Everybody else does it. Sonny used to kill all the rats.
Really?
Yes, Sonny killed rats, and now Sasha kills the rats. He kills everything bigger than that. He's like, I don't waste my time on these. Jesus,
Really? That's cat's play.
Yeah, he goes, that's for others.
So he didn't kill it, but he did get sprayed, and he wasn't even in the house.
Oh my
when
God.
I all of a sudden was like, what is that? Oh my God. It just literally permeated. And I think the only
it's so
windows that were
strong.
even open was like, you know how you have your little tiny bathroom windows?
Yeah.
I mean, I think one of them was like cracked. And that
it's
was
like-
literally it.
It's like tear gas.
Oh my God. The whole house. And of course, Jerry and Jeff are just like,
They don't.
no. And I'm
Oh my
like,
God.
now I know why Mom thought our house was on fire.
It smells like burning.
It does smell like burning rubber.
It does.
So I could not sleep.
You're like,
I was
I
like,
can't
this
deal with
is,
this.
I'm like, and I couldn't open the doors because it was still like the smell, I don't know, it lingers in your yard forever.
Oh, yeah. Forever.
So, and then I realized that he had gotten sprayed. So I'm like, he can't come in the house.
No.
I'm like, and Kevin's an indoor dog. I
Yeah.
mean, so that's when I texted you, like, what do I do about the situation? I'm not going to the store tonight.
I literally immediately had the recipe.
You did. I
know.
couldn't believe it. No, I couldn't believe it. That's what I was like, there's only
soap, baking soda,
there's
and
only one
hydrogen
person
peroxide.
who will be able to help me. Yeah, I'm
And
like,
she,
I
and
knew
you're all,
it.
I've got all of those things.
I was so grateful that I had
I
them
know.
all.
Thank
because
God.
I was like, I do not want to get dressed and get my ass out, but
No.
I had to do it. So
It's the only thing that works.
it did work. I did have to give him another bath.
Yeah.
But for that night, it was fine. It was good enough to where he could come in.
Yeah.
I could just very faintly smell it. And when I say faintly, it was really, really like I had to smell his
You had to
body.
really like get in there.
Yeah. And I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I can still smell it, but it's not like, it didn't kill me. So.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, poor Stephanie.
So now
And
I can't
then-
go out anymore at night.
No. And so then the next night, I have a little garden kitty that he hasn't been around in
Ramon?
a while, but Ramon was starting to show up again. And so I would give him a little food.
Yeah.
And then I pull the thing because we learned a long time ago that raccoons come and eat it.
They love it.
And so we actually had a raccoon show up at our house looking in the water dish.
To see if there was anything
Yeah,
valuable.
but there wasn't because it was just water. And
Right.
so then it left. So then I said, you know what? I'm going to give Ramon a little food before I go to bed and watch him eat it. And then I'm going to pull the dish and I'll go to bed. And he goes, okay. And this was like a week ago. And so I open up the door and I am face to face with a skunk
Oh God.
on my porch.
With his butt facing you or his face facing you?
I scared him, so he turned and he was full.
They fluff up.
Like he wanted to charge because I've seen them charge.
Oh. They're so little though.
Yeah, and it was a little one. But they're not so little when you're that close to them.
No, I agree. I don't want one that close to me.
You think they're little, and then you go, holy shit, that thing's like bigger than a cat.
Yeah.
You know, it's big.
Oh.
And so I'm like, oh my God. So I'm like, ah! Then I shut the door. He goes, what? And I go, there's a skunk on the porch. He's like, what?
So it was right on the front porch?
Yes. And so he goes running. So Daryl goes running. I go, what are you going to do?
I was about to say, what are you going to get sprayed?
I go, what are you going to do? He goes, what? I want to see. And so I go, don't you open that door. He goes, I am not a moron. I am not going to open the door. And so he lifts up the thing. He goes, well, there's nothing out here. Just Ramon looking at me.
Well,
and
he ran away, I'm sure.
I hope. And I said, I'm so scared that this skunk is going to come in the backyard now. Like it's going to find, you know what I mean?
Wow.
It didn't, thank God. But I was terrified.
I mean, you know.
So Daryl, we reinforced everything. We put a bunch of, we have this powder or pellet type stuff that you can put that smells like wolf pee
like
or whatever.
Deterrent.
And it's a deterrent. And it usually works.
Is it natural so the dogs won't hurt them?
Yes.
I'm going to do it. You got to show me it before I leave.
Yeah, it's on my table. I'll show it to you by the fucking gallon.
Yeah, because apparently I live in, wild America.
Well,
too.
I guess we don't realize how rural
it
this
is.
part of Sacramento is, but it is quite rural.
Well, we have a lot of foresty type shit around.
We especially,
I mean,
where we
in the
live.
scheme of things, like people who are listening who live in like Virginia and stuff,
I
they're probably
know.
like, shut the hell up. Oh, you have 3 evergreens in your yard and suddenly you live in a forest.
Hey, so a coyote went blowing by our house.
Oh no, I've heard that the coyotes have gotten really bad. I don't know if it's because I don't know if you've noticed, but if you've been around lately, but like at town, we are literally, there's construction everywhere.
Yeah, they're upsetting.
It is full blown. Yeah.
It's upsetting where their hunting grounds are and stuff like that.
Where they live.
Yes.
So they're literally like fleeing into the neighborhoods and stuff, and they're killing like domesticated animals. They're saying if you have like a Pomeranian or a cat, watch out.
Yeah. So things had simmered, quiet. Daryl's back from all of his travel, and we're like, let's just sit on our upper deck. Just gonna have some coffee, listen to some music, and just enjoy our morning.
Right.
Because we both got up like ridiculously early for some dumb reason.
Because we're getting old.
So we're just sitting there and we're just enjoying the sun, and it's nice and quiet. And
it's cool in the morning.
all of a sudden,
Oh no.
a hummingbird comes and flutters my ear with its wings.
Oh my god.
And it's all, oh my God. And I was like, Stephanie, I had my coffee and I went, I was like Shelley Long in Money Pit with the raccoon. She's like, and I was doing this really loud at like 7:30 in the morning, and Daryl's all, what? And then the thing hovers in front of and looks me in the face.
Was it rabid?
A rabid hummingbird?
What was it doing?
I don't think that they get rabies, but I don't know. But then it was just, and it was looking at me and it looked angry. And I'm like, what?
Saying maybe it had rabies.
It was mad. And I said, oh my God. I said, all right, I'm done. I am
foaming at the mouth.
done with this world.
What? Maybe it was
of nature.
Maybe it was a mother hummingbird and you were close to the nest and you didn't know it.
It's possible there's a hummingbird nest in their jujube tree, but because they've built there before,
So
but
maybe
we just
they
can't
were
see it.
Yeah, they were being protective.
But I was like outraged. I'm like, all right, that's it. I'm done. I'm done with nature. I'm done being triggered by creatures.
I'm going inside.
I'm indoors. I am an indoor person now.
Oh my God.
It was awful.
Oh my God. That is so hilarious.
It was hilarious, but it was terrifying.
So the other night I decided to barbecue. We've been having some pretty decent, it was hotter than hell. It was in the
But
hundreds.
when the sun sets, it's better.
Well, the last 3 or 4 days, it hasn't been in the hundreds.
No, it's been 90s.
It's been in the mid to low 90s. So it's been pretty comfortable, especially at night. And so I decided to barbecue and I was out there barefoot. You have a wood patio. Mine's completely cement.
Yes.
So
you have
they're
a cement pad.
Completely cement pad. Yeah. So I'm not standing in grass or on I can't even get a splinter in my foot where I'm standing.
That's nice.
Right. And so where I have the barbecue is right outside the sliding glass door where there's a big floodlight that flashes on it on top of it. So I can see it's very well lit, And so I'm out there doing my thing, didn't notice anything, came in, And I looked down at my foot and I have like 5 giant bites on it.
No.
And they're not like mosquito bites.
Did you get bit by a spider?
I swear to God, I thought I got bit by a black widow.
Oh my God. How would you not even know that?
Well, that's what Jerry said. He's like, you would be in the hospital. You wouldn't even be able to walk. I'm like, I got bit by a black widow. He's like, no, you didn't. I'm like, look at my toe. It's blue. And my whole toe was black and blue. like I had stepped on it hard.
Oh,
and then the rest of my foot, look, the rest of my foot, and I know you guys can't see this.
I see.
But the rest of my foot is completely covered in bites. So I have deduced that it was a spider. It had to have been.
Yeah.
Because mosquitoes don't bite you in 7 different places on your foot.
You must have, there must have been one and it ran up on your foot.
Standing there and it just kept biting me. So I have been, now this was literally 4 days ago and the poison is still in there because it will not stop hurting and itching.
Stephanie.
Whatever it is.
I mean, did you take Benadryl or anything?
I didn't have any.
I
had was Sudafed.
I have Benadryl if you want.
So Jerry put Neosporin on it. He's like, this will help. I'm like, it's Neosporin.
What, are we going to rub some tussin on it and hope it works? Jesus Christ.
I was ready to pour some like rum on it or some vodka or something to try to burn out the point, whatever. I'm like,
oh my God. No, I don't. Do you remember when we were children, when we were small children is what I was trying to say. And Mom had a snake bite kit?
I do.
Do you remember the snake bite kit? And it had that suck thing?
Yeah. And you know what? Now
that's what you need.
I know, right?
You need a suck thing.
Now they're saying that those are bad.
Why?
For snake bites. Like you don't do that anymore. Like
what do you do? Just leave it?
I can't remember because I watched this show on TV called I Survived.
Yeah.
And it's basically near-death experiences for a variety of different reasons. Well, this man had gone out to pick blueberries on his giant property. Mm-hmm. That he had to drive to get to it and got bit by a rattlesnake.
Oh my God.
And was so far off the beaten path from where he had parked.
Venom.
And in the middle of nowhere.
And they tell you to like keep your heart rate low.
Yeah. So he was literally like trying to run because he knew he didn't have that much time before he was going to start being fucked up. Well, he didn't make it, you know. I mean, he lived, but he didn't make it to his truck. Okay. Before he collapsed on the ground.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And so he was like, yeah, nowadays they tell you don't cut it. Don't try to suck out the poison,
Really?
like you're literally just supposed to immediately get to an emergency room.
And just get the venom.
He's like, but I'm an old country boy. And
so he cut his leg.
He's like, and I knew I wasn't going to make it to the hospital and all that. So yeah, he literally sliced himself open and squeezed out all the blood and stuff. But
wow.
So I didn't look into why we don't do that anymore. But that's what he was saying.
People are probably killing themselves.
Who knows?
No,
I don't know, but I am going to look that up to find out why we don't.
That old school snake bite kit, it had the sucky things and it had a little X-Acto knife, like a blade.
We played with it.
We did play with it.
It was fun.
God, we did all kinds of weird shit.
Why did we have it?
Well, because one time.
This is where we lived?
Yes.
When you found the baby rattlesnake in the backyard?
New construction. And one time we had walked home from school and there was a huge rattlesnake on our porch. On our front porch.
God.
And we couldn't go home.
I thought you found...
We had to go to a neighbor's house and call our dad.
Where was Mom?
I don't know.
She was at Parade Market.
Maybe she was at Parade. Getting
People were like,
things.
What? She was getting white bread and Wonder Bread and...
Remember how mad we used to get at her when she would buy generic? Do you remember that? We'd be like, Mom, why are you buying this? She goes, because it's really cheap. Or like, it's embarrassing. Now it's like, oh, Rayleigh's is having a store brand sale. Excellent.
I know, right?
That was so different.
I'm kind of a bread snob, but
what
you know.
You do like the, everybody has their thing.
It's like Ora wheat. I mean, and maybe it's just because food in general has gotten so expensive.
Oh my God, I know.
Yeah, because like before I didn't really think about it. I'm like, so it's an extra $1 for the loaf I want.
I definitely think about it now.
Now it's like an extra $4 for the loaf I want. I'm like, good God, why am I spending $6 on a freaking loaf of bread?
We better even eat the heels, you guys. Oh. We're not throwing anything away now. All of it.
Yeah, right. So so I've
crazy.
gotten very conscious of what I'm spending on food nowadays because it's so
weird.
I mean, God, like before I never understood why people thought like having steak. We were poor, right? Yeah. We've all been poor.
Oh yeah.
When I say we all, our family.
Yeah.
We've been very poor in the past and then not so poor. So even when we were poor, I never really understood why people thought certain kinds of meat were too expensive. Like you didn't eat that all the time.
Right.
Maybe it's because we were raised in a household where we literally cooked and ate
every meal.
Every single thing.
Yes.
Like we never
did take out.
Right.
We did pizza like once a month and it was a huge deal.
Huge deal.
Yeah.
So for me, that's pretty normal.
Yeah.
You know, and so I feel like if you do that, it's a much cheaper way to live.
It is, even if you're getting
And
an
healthy.
more expensive cut of something.
Yeah.
It lasts. Like, you know, what we do now is we buy like a big pork butt and we grind it.
Same. Well, I don't have a grinder.
Yeah, I know. You
but
should get one. It's really fun.
I have been buying ground turkey. I've been making Kevin his
God.
own. I've been making homemade dog food. Not because of the price, because Kevin loves it.
Well, of course he does.
I make him. I fry ground turkey and make white rice.
Oh yeah,
with almost no seasoning. I mean, I might put a little tiny bit of salt in the water.
Dogs like salt.
Yeah, well, I figured it's got to have some flavor.
Yeah, they like it.
Yeah. And I'm not putting a ton in it at all. Like I can barely taste it, but I can taste it.
Man,
And then that's pretty much it.
that's
And
awesome.
He friggin' loves it.
He's like, "Thank you, mother. Thank you so much."
Well, ground turkey and ground chicken, I'm finding out, are not that cheap.
No, we buy it at
Like $6 for a pound.
Oh my God.
Yeah, $5.99 or $4.
Yeah, we get ours at Costco now. Anyway,
It's quite boring. Sorry.
it's like, so what is on your grocery
Well,
list?
I clipped some coupons this weekend.
Welcome to the Ugly Truth, where we discuss our grocery list.
Oh, God.
What's on yours? Share with us, friends.
And that we get up at 4:30 in the morning.
Here's something disgusting that's going on TikTok, and you might have seen this.
Oh, God.
It's not new. I don't know. You know what? Everything is cyclical, though. You know, the new generation discovers something, and they go, "Oh my God, you guys!"
Right.
So these women,
They say it just like that too.
These women are doing something called vabbing.
Vabbing?
V is in vagina, B is in boy, B-I-N-G.
What is it?
vabbing? It's where they take their pussy juice and put it on their neck, like a perfume.
God, ew. Are they
Stephanie?
single? And they're trying to
Yes.
find. Oh my God.
They're like pheromones. They're like, ladies, trust me, it works. I went to a bar and la la la, and I was like, that is the most disgusting thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, why would you do that?
Like these idiot celebrities who eat their fucking placentas.
Stephanie, ugh, no.
I mean, and they
Disgust.
all do it.
I'd be like, cows do that too, by the way.
So do cats.
Why do you want to be like that? Go right ahead and enjoy your smoothie. Disgusting. Gross.
It is so gross to me.
Why would you do that? It's disgusting.
Why would you put your freaking pussy juice on your neck?
Apparently to snag a man.
Oh my God. You're the girl who, when I'm standing behind, I'm like, oh, you smell.
Well, and that's the other thing. Like, what if you're not completely healthy and you do that?
Not everyone is. Well, and I mean, everybody. We've had this discussion before about the smells of your vagina.
Yes.
Like, and everybody's is different. Paula used to
course.
always say her smelled like a penny.
What?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Which I thought was a really good description. That's one thing about Paula. She has a way.
She's good at describing.
Of describing things. Like, I've never heard anyone tell me that giving a blowjob is like licking a snotty nose.
Wow.
It's absolutely true.
Okay, I'm going to tell you something, and it's going to completely ruin you, and I'm not apologizing.
No, because all right, fine.
Because you'll know. Penises taste like raw, unseasoned avocado. Like if you just take a bite of a raw avocado.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I have to taste one to see if that's true.
You'll taste it and go, oh yeah, you're right. It does. So if you just open up an avocado and take a bite of a
plain,
just get a spoonful,
no salt, no.
Don't dress it up. Just take a bite and you'll go, huh.
Well, that's not unpleasant.
No, I'm just saying that now every time you eat an avocado, you're going to go, I need salt on this.
Well, I never eat them plain. Very
need
rarely.
something. I
I
need
usually
olive
always
oil.
put salt on it.
I
Yeah.
need red onions.
Salt and
something.
pepper at minimum. And even
it's
a little
true.
lemon. Yeah.
True
Yeah.
story.
Well, I mean.
So women are vabbing.
Licking a snotty nose is pretty accurate as well.
True. That is true.
yeah,
So they're vabbing
That's
and,
really gross.
they swear by it. And I'm like, I don't know if I want a man who is like that primal.
That's disgusting.
And how do they get so close that they can smell you? In fact,
It's all in their mind.
if I could smell that, I'd be like, you need to bathe, young lady.
100%.
You smell.
Like, if I can smell your pussy from here, there's no way I'm getting near that thing.
are
Well,
you-
actually, it's on my neck.
I'm like, did you work out before you came here? Like, what are you doing?
Not shower?
That makes me want to vomit.
That is literally the most grotesque thing. Don't do that.
Do not do it. And all gynecologists say, please don't do this.
Do they?
Yeah. They're like, there's a new trend and you may have seen it. It's probably not new now, but they're like these people who have been in an industry or whatever, they go 5 things that I would never do because I've been a gynecologist for 25 years or whatever.
Ooh, I love that.
But yeah, it's those secretions aren't meant for your neck.
That's just the most ridiculous thing.
It's just
I've
not.
ever
And so like, like
what's next? Fecal matter in the earlobes?
You know what? I don't know. I'm just so like, why? Who told you this was a good idea?
Some idiot.
Some man said your pussy smells so good.
Oh my God.
And she's like, you know what I should do?
Or or some millennial was like, you know what? Maybe I'll just put natural pheromones on
instead of buying the
myself.
gas station pheromones.
Oh my God. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
It's so lame.
Okay.
It's so lame. So don't do that.
So no, I have not heard of that one. That's new to me.
Yes. I don't ever want to.
Yeah. God. That is dumb.
It's amazing what people will do for a fuck. By the way, most women can get laid whenever they want
Anytime you want
to. I don't
to.
care what you look like, you can get laid. Ladies,
but that's
there's
the
someone
thing.
out there who will do it.
I think women for the most part aren't looking just to get laid. They always want a goddamn relationship, which I don't fucking understand either.
You know what? This is where I'm kind of the guy in our marriage because
Same.
we'll have sex and he'll want to like snuggle. I'm like, really?
Oh God.
Really?
No. I can't even. Jerry's like,
I literally get up immediately.
He said this the other day. He goes, do you remember when you used to be like a little backpack on my back at night when we'd sleep together? I looked at him like, that never happened. You're thinking of your other wife.
Literally, when you said that, I'm like, you didn't do that.
Never.
You would never do that.
Maybe the very first time we had sex, and the whole
One
time I was probably
time.
like, God, when is this going to end?
Can I get up now?
Right. I was like, well, I don't want him to think I'm a total cunt. Not yet.
I don't want him to think that I'm not nice.
It's the first time, but
that's hilarious.
Seriously, so treasure this moment because it's never happening
I
again.
can literally one time, Stephanie.
I can't remember.
One time I fell asleep on his chest. And I can
You must have
remember
been exhausted.
I was exhausted.
I was like, there's no other reason.
And I woke up, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing?
He was probably like, no, don't move.
I couldn't.
God,
I couldn't believe it. I woke up, I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Well, it's all right if it happens like once,
of course,
like that. You know what I mean? If it's organic and it didn't bother you.
I couldn't believe it.
But yeah, I mean, we've all had I've had very weird things happen to me where I either like genuinely felt safe, which almost never happens in my life.
Sure.
Or really comfortable.
Yeah.
I mean, and it doesn't happen a lot.
No.
And it usually does make me aghast. I'm like, what?
Yeah, you're like,
what's happening?
I'm feeling weird.
Yeah. And it lasts for like 5 minutes.
I'm feeling vulnerable.
Yes. So
it was funny.
Sometimes it's when I'm sick.
Oh,
when I don't feel well, when I'm ill, my body's just, maybe it's because I have no energy to keep fighting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You've just been worn down. You're like, I don't even care anymore.
Yeah, like there's nothing left in me.
No, it's funny that you say that. It's kind of on the same term. We've been hanging out with Greg and Glenn a little bit. And so a couple of weeks ago when we got back from Napa, I was telling Greg, I said, it's so weird that, because I did some really crazy shit in Napa. If you haven't listened to the episode, I highly recommend. I spoke in tongues. Oh, and here's the other thing.
Wait, what?
Hold on.
Don't tell me because I get scared about stuff like that.
No, not for real.
Oh, I'm like, Jamie?
It's on the show, but I'm going to tell it because I know you haven't heard the show yet.
Was it you and Daryl's episode?
Yes.
Oh, no, I didn't listen to
that. It's okay. So we were at this event. There was a woman dancing, and she was really getting into it. And Greg goes...
Those are fun.
And Greg goes, boy, she's really feeling the spirit. And so I started going blah, 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 like that, talking in tongues, right? And Daryl was getting a beverage, and he came back and he saw me doing it, and Greg's just staring at me like, why are you doing that? And Daryl goes, what are you doing? And I go, what? He goes, why are you doing that? And I go, oh, I'm talking in tongues. He's like, why? And I'm like, oh, because this lady, she's feeling the spirit. He goes, I'm not getting the correlation.
He's like, stop it.
I don't know what you're doing, but stop it. So anyway, but this is kind of an awkward moment, actually. So we went out to dinner with them. I was like on the last show, so I was hungover and I was telling you. And so Glenn's father was a Pentecostal minister.
Oh no! And you didn't know?
No. And I immediately regressed
Was
to that
he
day.
offended?
He didn't say anything, but I immediately regressed to that day. And I'm like, oh
God.
my God, this is the awkward part of our lives. Because
Right?
it's like, why would I do
Why
that?
would this happen? And then it just so happened to
He
be
just
with
so
a friend.
happened to be a
who's
pastor his whole life.
Oh God.
Their
I
whole
want to die.
family is Pentecostal.
I had something happen to like just exactly fucking
was
like this.
so embarrassed.
Except for I didn't get a week. I got like a second before
me.
I got
Tell me.
fucking A. So we're talking about weddings. I sit next to two really young, adorable girls. They're both in their early 20s. One of them's a newlywed. And she's the most gorgeous creature I've ever seen in my life. She's Indian and she is stunning.
Okay.
So beautiful. And so I knew she was a newlywed, but we had never really talked about in detail like her wedding or anything like that. Yeah, it's been, she just celebrated her 1 year anniversary, which was really cute. And so she showed me, now that we've gotten to know each other pretty well, she finally showed me a picture of her husband, which he looks like out of GQ magazine. Gorgeous.
Well, she's gorgeous. So
Exactly. So you know how you never kind of wonder what like someone's spouse looks like when you're newly getting to know them.
Yeah.
And she was so beautiful. But I mean, when I saw her husband, I looked at her. I was like, oh my God. She's like, I know, right? I was like, God. I'm like, you guys are gonna have the most gorgeous children. I'm like, well, anyway. So she started showing me pictures of their wedding. This wedding. Well, okay. Let me double take. About an hour before we just started looking at pictures, I had been telling her how I had watched this show called $1 Million Wedding. And that I had seen a traditional Indian wedding on this show because they did a variety, I watched a bunch of episodes, but this one was on a traditional Indian wedding. These people were really, really wealthy.
So they went the full 3 days.
Yep. And so I'm like, and it was, some of the most gorgeous dresses and they changed a whole bunch of times. She's like, yeah, that's all part of the tradition.
Yes.
She's like, I did my wedding like that. And I'm like, really? And she's like, yeah, we did the whole traditional Indian. So it was 3 days and I did the henna setting where they did full henna on her arms and everything. I was like, oh my God. So she started showing me pictures. And so as she's showing me pictures, all of a sudden I'm like,
wait a minute.
This is like the wedding I saw on TV. Like,
was it?
It wasn't the same wedding, but it was it was like, all of a sudden I'm like, I looked at her and I'm like, you know what? I'm like, are your parents billionaires? Because we had just been talking about $1 Million Wedding and she goes, well, she's like, I wouldn't say billionaire. She's like, it's just old money. And I'm like, I am such an idiot. Because I was going on and on and on about $1 Million Wedding and how
she's like, yeah, mine was $1 million.
And she's probably sitting there thinking like, well,
mine was 1.3.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
shit.
I mean, they had smoke machines.
Like, I don't want to be an asshole, but why is she working?
I think that's very traditional.
Oh, okay.
I think like that regardless of your money.
Totally should, but I'm just saying.
I think that they expect everyone earns their way. It doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
She's college educated. She's got a bachelor's degree.
Well,
I mean,
sure.
And so does her husband. And I mean, so yeah, I don't think there's any slackers in certain cultures.
No. I didn't mean that. But I mean, if my parents were incredibly wealthy, I don't know.
But when you're American and you're white, if your parents are multimillionaires, you're a spoiled, rotten little brat. You never work, you're a trust fund baby.
Yeah.
But in other cultures, that's just not acceptable.
True story.
It doesn't matter how much money you have.
True
So I felt
story.
like a fucking schmuck.
You're like, oh.
I'm just so, I'm like, God.
Oh, well. Oops. Sorry, I'm just an
my
asshole.
white trash is showing. Sorry.
No, stop it.
No, she's adorable and lovely, and she didn't make it weird or awkward
She
at all.
didn't think of anything of it. It's not like you said, well, how much did you pay?
No, I didn't actually, but she was one. So they have they change outfits multiple times, and one of the outfits, and I'm like, God, that is just a stunning garment. She's like, yeah, I had it made in India. I had it shipped here and all of that. And I'm like, God, it's just gorgeous. It must be hand beaded. She's like, everything was handmade on it. She goes,
oh my God.
She goes, that dress alone, which was her day before wedding dress,
yes,
was $4,500. So I can only imagine what the wedding. I mean, you should have seen the wedding dress.
Well, now I want to see it.
It was beautiful.
She wore red, right?
Yes,
so pretty,
red and gold and all of those gorgeous colors.
God, it's so beautiful.
It was. Oh my God, it was so gorgeous.
Okay, well, speaking of awkward people, I curated 2 awkward moments, Uglee and awkward moments.
Okay,
so we don't have music for that.
I'm glad somebody else did it.
Nope. Okay, sorry. Anyway. So here we go. Here's some Ugly and awkward. Yes. Well, we just shared some awkward moments of our own. So now we can share these 2.
Yes, I'm a nose ring.
Oh my God. Okay. Without thinking, I once tried to shake an amputee's hand.
Oh my God.
He stuck out his arm in a non-offended way to show that he was unable to shake my hand, and to diffuse the situation with only minimal amounts of awkwardness,
She grabbed the stub.
for some reason, took this as a gesture to shake his nub. His limb was cut off at just above the elbow, so I had to really reach for it. This made us both uneasy, but we laughed awkwardly and said goodbye.
I would totally do something stupid like that.
I wonder if I would do a fist bump, or I don't know if I would shake a nub.
You know, I don't think I'd shake the nub.
No.
But I might have like been like, "Oh, do you want me to like shake the nub?"
I would have asked.
Yeah, I mean,
shake the nub. We would have totally said something like that too. So embarrassing.
We were talking about the same girl I was just talking about. She was saying that when they were in. Because when you get hired at my job, you actually go through like school. It's like 12 weeks of school where you're not actually doing the job, you're learning.
You're training. Mm-hmm.
And so there is a girl, they're getting ready to pass their 1 year probation, which is the mark, which means you're in. You're in. Yep. And so one of the girls in their training class has one arm missing, you know, so, and it just is exactly like you described. So she's got half of an arm. Basically, and they're friends. Like the newbies they're all really good friends. And she said that the running joke was that every time they would run out of work to do, she, the girl without the arm, would be like, "What am I supposed to do? Just sit here and twiddle my thumb?" And I was like cracking up. I'm like, she'd like, yeah. So she made it really easy for us.
So great.
Because she was so funny about it.
That's
so anyway,
awesome.
yeah, loved that.
I love that. Okay, here's the second one. This one made me laugh. This is something I would totally do. I'm so stupid. I have slight social anxiety, and I was on the bus the other day. I decided I wanted to live my life. And so I wanted to just start a conversation with a stranger I didn't know, and I didn't know how.
No.
Right? Already.
You don't need to do that.
It's always a mistake.
There's no reason.
This woman and I were the only two people on the bus. I figured the best thing I could do was just be honest. Oh, God.
God, no.
I'm already like, sorry.
Stop
sad.
it.
I looked at her and said, "Isn't it funny how we're so afraid to just begin a conversation with another human being?"
She probably looked at you like, shut up.
She just stared at me. And then, so to answer my own question, I said, yes, it is. Tragically funny. We just continued writing in silence.
And she's probably like, shut up, you
She's
weirdo.
She's like, I'm on my way to chemo. I don't want to talk to you.
Right? Or whatever.
I'm on the bus.
Like, I don't need...
Come on. I don't want to talk to anyone here.
This is why you're socially awkward, person. Oh my God. No. People, generally speaking, do not want to be spoken to.
Not really. Not unless they absolutely need to.
No. And if someone does, then you're always like, if you're like me, because I'm such a people pleaser, you indulge them even though you hate your life.
Yeah.
Honest to God. I mean.
Do you see all these black stickers on the wall?
I did.
So see
I saw that.
Okay,
I'm assuming that those are placeholders.
So these are sound canceling cushions so that we don't echo as much.
Oh, do we echo?
No, but I mean, I feel like we can just insulate a little bit more.
Yes.
Yeah, and so I have all these pretty
You've had them for a while,
and
yeah.
so I'm like, you know what? I'm putting them up today so that we don't bounce off the walls.
You got one. They don't work.
They don't stick. So
They're pretty sticky because I stuck my finger on there. And
so I put up everywhere there's a black sticker on the wall. There was a cushion, a little pad.
It all fell down.
So I'm like, oh, nice work, Jamie. And I walked out and I came back in and they were all on the floor. And I'm like, well, this is not right. So
is that what they came with?
So I put them up again and they all proceeded to fall on the floor.
Did you like push them down really hard?
I did everything. And I'm like, maybe I could, well, they tell you to use 4 and I only did 1.
Well, then.
So, but I wanted to just see
how sticky they were.
Yeah.
Not very.
Nope.
So you lost momentum and you're like, I'm done.
You're like, you know what?
I'm not putting up the other 4.
I don't want to even do this.
You're like,
this
Daryl.
dumb. Yeah. And he'll do it.
Of course he will. He'll do anything.
I know. Thank God.
No, I feel you. I mean, I was ordering Jerry around as he's in his painting outfit this morning, trying to leave him like, hey, this garbage, is it just going to walk itself out to the garbage?
Oh, well, so the other day, so Daryl always says, just tell me what to do and I will do it while you're gone. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. I said, so I was going to get my hair done and I said, okay, so, I said, take something out for dinner. I don't care what it is. Just take it out. I'll prepare it. I don't even care what you make, what you want. Just pull it out of the freezer.
Get a protein out, please.
And I will deal with it. And he's like, all right. And I said, one other thing.
Was that a whole fish with the eyeballs? I'm just kidding.
No, but then I told him to do one other thing. And I said, and these flowers, they need water. Can you just put them put some water in them because I don't want them to die because there's nothing in them, so they'll die really fast. He goes, yeah. I'm like, all right, bye. 3 hours later, I come home and I'm like, so what did you get out for dinner? He goes, oh, I forgot. I got busy. Da, da, da. I'm like, okay.
And so now we've lost 3 hours of defrost
I go,
time.
okay. I go, all right, fine. I go, well, what do you want to get? He goes, well, I don't know. What do you want? I'm like, you know what? I asked you.
One thing. You had 2 jobs.
I said, did you put water in the flowers? He's like, no, I forgot. And I'm like, why do you want me to help? Why do you want me to ask you to do things?
And then
because you hate it when I just do stuff. Because you're like, yeah, I feel helpless. I want to do stuff too.
Just tell me what needs to be done and I'll do it.
I'll do it if I'm not aware of it. Because he knows stuff that is obvious he'll do.
Right.
But if there's anything weird, that he wouldn't know,
that you wouldn't think of to do. You'll think of to do as you're moving around and looking at things and
which
do
I'm
them.
constantly doing.
Same.
And so I said, can you do those 2 things? Because I'm running out of time. He's like, yeah, no problem. And I'm like, so you didn't do either of the things that I asked you to do that you wanted me to tell you to do?
Because I would have just done them had I known you weren't going to do them.
He goes, well, I don't know what you want for dinner. I'm like, this is not a discussion. I didn't ask. I told you to just pick something.
I literally said I couldn't have made it any easier for you, man.
So he's like, fine. So he took out.
And then why are you having an attitude?
Oh, Stephanie. And then I ended up having a nightmare about it because I was so triggered. I had a dream that he was mad at me and he was treating me like shit. And I'm like,
God.
And I literally said, you know what? At the end of it, because he was accusing me of cheating on him, which was hilarious.
Oh my God.
And I was like so frustratingly angry with him. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? I'm like, stop. And he goes, and so in my dream, I go, co-parenting is going to be fun with you. And he's like, and he didn't say anything. And I'm like, you asshole. And so I woke up and I was like, really disturbed by it.
God, that wasn't real.
And I said, I had this really weird dream. He goes, oh no, what was it? And I told him, and I said, you said you had receipts, like you had proof.
Oh.
He goes, I have receipts. And I go, and he goes, well, first of all, I would never say I have receipts. I'm like, unless you actually had a receipt,
Right.
And so we were getting ready, we were getting out of bed, and I said, oh, well, do you have receipts or something like that? He goes, well, he goes, only if you had to pay for it or something like that. And I said,
he had no idea what you were talking about, Jamie.
No, I told him.
He wasn't in the dream. Okay.
I told him about the dream because it was so disturbing. And he said something about me paying for it or something. I go, what did you say? He goes, well, I was just joking around. I'm like, stop talking. Stop talking. I go, because I was really disturbed by this.
I have woken up full blown angry.
I have never, it has been so long since I have woken up and been mad at him for something he didn't even do.
Oh my God, Jamie.
It's been so long.
See, my dreams, and I thought yours were the same. My dreams are so real.
They're so real. It felt real.
I mean, real. But because it's always been like that in my life.
Yes.
Now when I wake up, I'm like, I'm super relieved.
Yes.
Because it does feel real.
It does feel real.
And I don't know about you. I think we talked about this one before, but I am one of those people that, and I guess this is rare, that are conscious of when I'm dreaming.
Yeah.
So sometimes because of that,
you can change it.
I can change it, but I also think it's real.
Yeah,
because
like,
I'm
I awake?
I'm awake. I'm like,
that
no,
has
I'm
happened
awake.
to me.
I'm like, no, you are absolutely awake, and this is absolutely happening.
You're all,
and then you wake up, and you're like, okay, no, I wasn't fucking awake, but I swear to God, I thought I was awake in my dream.
One time, this has absolutely happened to me. One time, I was having a dream, and it was like a nightmare, and I woke up, and I'm like, oh, and I was still dreaming,
still asleep. I've had that happen.
And I was in bed, but I'm like, am I awake?
Thinking that you were awake.
I'm like, am I awake or not? And then something horrifying, scary happens. And I'm like, and then I really wake up and I'm all,
yeah.
I'm like, do other people do this?
No.
It's
and
like a bad movie.
No. The thing about it, no, people don't do it. And so the thing about it is when they're bad, it's horrible. But when they're good, it's amazing.
I know.
Because you can literally do things like you want,
I know.
Because you're dreaming and you're like, oh my God, I can literally do whatever I want. And
I know. It's so great.
Yeah. So I just
wish I could fly higher in my dreams.
Or not struggle so much to get up.
I struggle. It's like I'm swimming and I hate it. I just want to I want to fly like Superman.
But every once in a while I get it together.
Yeah.
And then I do it. And I don't know about you, but when I fly, I'm flying like to countries. Like
I do
far distances, like
I fly
over
over
oceans,
cities and stuff. I love
stuff
it.
like that. Yeah. So it's not like I'm just like flying around Sacramento.
Oh God, no.
No, I'm literally like, okay, you're sleeping and you figured out you're up here. And the only thing is with my dreams is once I figure out how to fly, then I get uncontrollably fast. Where I'm going like 600 miles an hour. I'm like, like I can't slow down.
I would love that.
And I'm like, okay.
Yeah. I'm always struggling. I'm 12 feet off the ground.
If I'm struggling, it's hard to get off the ground, and I keep like landing like a bird that's got a broken wing or something.
It's stupid.
But then if I do get off the ground and I'm like going for it, then I start going so fast I start getting dizzy. I'm like, I'm gonna be in Rome before you know it. Slow down.
Like, oh God, my Greece.
And it wakes me up because my heart heart starts beating too fast.
Oh shit, that's funny.
And I'm like, damn
it! Ugh, all right,
Yeah.
well, that's the show.
Weird.
I know, but who cares? Anyway, all right, well, that's the show. Thank you so much for listening. Rate and review us if you love us, please, wherever you're doing
I love stuff. Jamie doesn't care, but but I do.
Y'all.
Yeah, I always ask her, and she's like, I don't know. I know how many people download. I'm like, I was just so curious. And lately I've been getting a lot of weird Instagram and Facebook requests.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's the show or if it's just, did I get hacked and like people are.
No.
So I don't want to say delete, like, not do it because I'm like, well, what if this is someone who listens to the show?
It is. Well, I don't usually, if I don't know them, or I don't usually.
I don't know them.
Yeah, I don't
A lot of
friend
them are in
them.
different countries.
Yes, we do get a lot of people from different
So
countries.
I'm like, if I didn't add you to my Instagram or my Facebook and you did listen, it's not personal.
No, it's fine. We have an Ugly Truth Instagram. We have an Ugly Truth social media. You can totally reach out to us on those at any point, which a lot of you do. But yes, rate and review our show, and then also
I'll have to go on there more often.
Yeah, and then also, what was the other thing I was going to say to you about that? I can't remember.
Yeah, were you going to say something about Lumi?
Yes, but definitely buy Lumi. But you wanted to know, we got like 800 downloads on one day, which is really insanely high.
Is it?
Yeah, it was really weird. Dad, Daryl was like, I don't understand. I'm like, well,
was it our Hot Wings episode?
That Hot Wings episode is very popular.
Oh,
it's very.
We need to do it again, and we'll do it better.
We're gonna do it correctly. We're gonna get the hot wing. We're gonna get the Hot Ones sauces. We're gonna get bone in wings so that you don't kill yourself.
And for two, I really think we need. Well, I mean, we didn't find it on our own, but I do think it would be funny if we had Dub in with us.
He can ask us
for
questions.
commentary. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, just so that me and you can focus on the actual wings.
And if we're feeling froggy, we can have cameras.
Oh God, I would actually love to do it. And my son was so incredibly jealous that we did it.
He can sit in.
He wants to do. Well, I was thinking we could either do that or we haven't had a family like gathering in a really long time.
I know we haven't. We're due.
Yeah, we're due, and the holidays are approaching. So I thought, how fun would it be to do one with the kids?
Oh, that'd be cute.
Yeah, we can get your plant-based chicken nuggets.
Oh yes,
whatever. Since all you people don't eat real food.
Well, yes, that's true.
There's going to be some kind of I think all of your kids met in a group for dietary restriction weirdos.
Oh, God, you should see it when we have family dinner. It's like
you've told me
it's like making 4 meals.
I'm like, that would be exhausting.
Daryl can't have any lactose. One person's allergic to tomatoes. One person can't eat. They don't eat meat or dairy. And whatever.
Is Kenzie vegan?
No.
Is Tyler?
Tyler is vegan.
He's vegan.
Yes, full vegan, and he's been for a while.
And his girlfriend too, right?
Yes, they're both vegan, and
vegan is where I struggle because then it's like it gets really hard to.
I told Kenzie and I were talking about that, and I said I could be vegetarian.
I could too.
I mean, I would probably miss meat occasionally, but I don't really crave meat like that. I mean, I do love a good cut of beef or whatever,
steak every once in a while.
Yeah, and I would miss sushi. Stuff like that.
Yes.
So I don't know if I could do it if I had to, if I always had to. The biggest thing for me, the reason I can't do vegan is I would miss dairy way too much.
Yeah.
Well, I love cheese.
I mean, there's a lot of things about vegan that's, because you can't even, it depends on like butter. Can you eat butter?
No.
Yes, you can.
But there is vegan butter and it's just like regular butter.
Is it?
Oh yeah. There's a lot of stuff now. Like when Mackenzie was vegan when she was like 13 years old, that was like 12 years ago. I remember. There was nothing.
You literally had to make everything.
She had to eat vegetables or have soy.
Yeah.
There was like very little vegan product. And now every grocery store has like a whole section. They have a whole cooler section. There's all vegan products. Now, I still don't like vegan cheese. I don't think it tastes very good, but everything else I've had a lot of vegan foods. It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I could not.
Well, it is a healthier way to live.
I would miss feta too much.
Oh my God. But not goat cheese.
Oh, Stephanie. When someone says it's got goat cheese, it's like, just tell me you have poo on it. Like, I hate it so much.
I was thinking of you this morning. Pioneer Woman was making like a hot cheese dip.
With goat cheese?
Mm-hmm. Roasted peppers and...
That sounds terrible. That sounds like literally...
big discs of goat cheese.
Like diarrhea.
She melted the whole thing in the oven. I was like, oh, yum.
It's like diarrhea to me. I would never. Gross. Although everybody goes... Greg was like, well, I make this macaroni and cheese, and it's like an adult macaroni and cheese, and I use like blue cheese and white cheddar,
really strong cheeses,
super strong flavors. He goes, but I do put goat cheese in it. And I said, He goes, well, I think you might like it. I go, everybody says that to me.
I know, right?
Everybody tells me this.
Yeah.
It's a lie. I said, but because I like you, I would try it.
Oh God. Why would you do
I would
that
take
to
a bite.
yourself?
I would take one bite. I said, but
Just to confirm that, no, I still hate it.
everybody is convinced that I can find a white wine that I will enjoy, and everyone's convinced that there's a goat cheese that I will like.
I've
and
yet
both
to
are
find
lies.
a white. Okay, so knowing that you
Other
drink
than sparkling, I don't like
every
still
wine
white.
on the planet you've had practically, and you've still I don't like white. I've never found one that I
do not like white
that
wine.
I enjoy.
No.
I have gutted many a glass.
Same.
But I've never actually been like, this is delicious.
No, never.
No.
Never.
Well, that's good to know. Then I'm giving up. I'm not doing it anymore. Why? Yeah.
Why waste
If you
your time?
can't discover one, then because I'm still thinking that one exists.
Maybe, but I've yet to find
Why
it.
do women? I mean, they all order white wine.
I don't know.
Why do you like it?
I don't know.
I mean, it's like drinking a terry cloth towel.
It tastes terrible to me. It's just like, ugh, they're
Tart
like,
and bitter and.
but you know what? That's why there's so many different wines now, and you can have whatever you want. But I'm all about the reds, the blends, the pinots, whatever. I have tasted a rosé or two that I don't hate.
Me too.
But nothing I would run out and buy and go, oh, we must have this in our house.
Oh God, no. You might keep one if a friend comes over and they want one. Yeah,
and they always do.
Right, and so like your hate for goat cheese is this, and people trying to convince you like, oh, you just haven't had the right one.
Yeah.
This is the same issue that I have with bananas.
I didn't know you hated
No
bananas.
one can see. This is the same reaction.
I just didn't know you didn't like
No,
them.
but I mean, no one understands it. They're like, how do you not like a banana? Well, you just need to have it in a smoothie.
Oh,
or you
stop
I'm like,
it.
it doesn't matter what it's in or if you try to
just don't
hide
like it.
I just don't like it. It's not a
just don't.
texture thing.
No.
It's not it's a taste issue.
You don't like the flavor of a
I
banana.
don't like it. They're gross.
I don't blame you.
Disgusting.
All right, everyone.